Hello. Good day. How is everyone
Hey,
doing today?
morning, Chai.
Good morning,
Morning.
Ash.
Just woke up.
Just did all my meds and stuff, and my morning routine takes some time. But yeah, let's see.
This is the first time seeing Booster Beast play Sarah. Usually I see him playing Brad.
Yeah, he does have a mean Sarah. It's been a while since I've seen that. Let's see. Where's the picture? There we go. Man, awesome. It's good that a lot of great names in here. It's gonna be a really wonderful Sunday. Last night we had a lot of awesome VF battles too, so this is great.
Oh, hi, Guibert.
Hey, good to see
We're just
Bieber
starting
here.
our first Open League. Hey, welcome, Jimmy.
Good morning. Awesome. Let's see. Alright, this is an excellent one. Let's see, got Bruce the Beast versus
Junction Pac-Man is Maximilian 32.
That's
the
correct.
IOA player on the bottom. He is using his brother's account. And I believe he is organizing a PC tournament with Final Showdown. I think it's next weekend on a Saturday. He could correct me if
I believe that's correct. You can always inquire with him about it, and I think the details are in the Virtua Fighter Discord. And it's wonderful seeing him on PS4 as well. So really happy. Got to have some matches last night, and it's a lot of fun. Hey Silverbolt, good morning. Hope you're doing great, man. It's a really good battle. I haven't. It's been a while since I've seen RJ, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, good to see you again, RJ.
Hey, welcome, Condor.
Ooh, excellent. Condor's in the house. Wonderful. And
so we got 11 people now. So that's going to be at least 30 minutes for the league. We still have 5 spots left. So if anyone's watching the streams, please join. We have about 10 more minutes or so before we start. Okay.
can be very brutal, yeah. So Silverbolt, letting me know that he is really focused working on his boxing. So I think some more stuff to talk about is as you get used to the tools of the boxing, it's important to understand the role that movement and defense are very important into it, and he's good on the defense, but sometimes movement's gonna be an aspect to it that's important. But also, as we develop this, learning how to mix up the mids and the throws in a certain way in certain situations. So I think sometime I'm gonna work on that with him to incorporate that into his boxing, because Sarah can do it in a pretty strong way with elbow, but also with like 3P plus K. That one, when you block, if you block a big enough attack, or actually most attacks you block, you can do it. And if they're over aggressive, if you do it when they're over aggressive, that's when it's strong. However, if it gets blocked, you are in Nitaku, meaning that their mix-up of a strong mid versus a strong throw is against you. So it is one where you don't throw it out willy-nilly, but you do it whenever you think they're going to be very aggressive with their attack, because it'll. But you're still, there's nothing guaranteed against you, but you're in the mix-up situation if it gets blocked. But it's such a, if you have the frame advantage, it's going to it's going to give you a combo. And so starting to helping him build tools like that will be big. And then with the spacing, Sarah can do a few different things to really kind of counterattack the opponent if she causes them to whiff. Elbow is one, but if you do elbow, you want to convert into like an elbow kick if you know for sure it's going to hit, but you don't want to get too greedy, because elbow kick without assurance is pretty dangerous. And it's similar where she's got her back kick and guard. Her back kick and guard is a long range axe kick. That's a really good one to use if they whiff and you're on your toes with it. So as you get faster, you start using your spacing as a way to set up your opponent for mistakes, like in most other fighting games. But the boxing is the thing that's going to keep you more grounded. So over time, be a wonderful thing to keep working on and improving awareness of situations like what we call Nitaku. So yeah.
I'm just going. Wait for a second. I forgot to run the ad, so I'm just going to run it now so that it doesn't interrupt the actual league.
Okay.
So apologies. Still can. I'm quite sure you those watching Chanchai stream can still hear us. And I could still write in the text box for to communicate. I think who else is? I think Silverbolt is usually streaming. And are you streaming today, Sasana?
No, I'm sadly.
Oh no, it's no problem. I just want to make sure so I could just update the post stream
Very good.
scene.
Very good using the spacing. Now he's playing the spacing better this round. Yeah, and then Silverbolt had a harder time on the spacing in the first round. Very nice. It was a good match between these two. So. The two hit strings can be really tough to deal with. I get tough with it too. That's where if you're too antsy, two hit strings are going to hit you out of. So as you get more aware of those strings, you'll deal with them better. I'm not always the best model of that. It was a good match. It was a good match there. Usually repositioning throws like that, where they throw you there, is like back and throw. And over time you get used to knowing that Jeffrey and Wolf do like to use throws to reposition, especially Jeffrey. And so those ones, it adds quite a bit to knowledge. It's hard to work on, but like back and throw whenever you're near a ring out, or even near the wall, you need to do back and throw escape, right? And then also when you're on the ground, if you're near a wall, then like with Wolf especially, but both down P and G when you're on the ground, because that's the one that's going to throw you into the wall or throw you into the ring out. So yeah.
Okay, welcome part to 0. We got 12 people.
Silver Bowl, it was a good, again, it was a good match. RJ did make really good use of some stuff, but at the same time, you did as well. Like, you're getting used to the spacing. His sense of spacing was just a little stronger. But he's also, Jeffrey's got a pretty good reach. So, yeah, keep working. Yeah, the ring awareness is tough. Nala, awesome to see you. I'm glad you're here. Awesome battles last night. And yeah, ring awareness is tough. Ring awareness is really tough because it's on top of everything else, right? It's like, I mean, it just, it's one of those things that takes lots and lots of playing and getting comfortable to kind of see it, but when you over focus on it too, it can really mess you up as well, cause you to hesitate. So.
All right, the ad break's over. Thanks for those who keep the browser open for it. That helped us provide little tips for me in the organization. In the organization of the Sunday sessions and anything else that I do in the future. So we have 13 people in the league right now. So there should be 13 rounds. Everyone should get one bye, and this should last about 39, 50 minutes. Welcome, Nala Sharpe. That's 14 people. Awesome.
Really awesome to have you in here, Nala.
And it should still last the same time, so no one has a bye now.
We'll see by the time it starts.
Someone could disconnect and stuff, yeah.
Oh, somebody,
right,
one more person.
Set things up.
Oh, okay. All right. Good luck, everyone. This is going to be a lot of fun.
All right, good luck, guys.
Good luck, everyone.
All right, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I don't think I can do 3-0. But Akai and Setsuna can tie me for second. They can overtake me. So it's going to be a very hard league, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's have a good time. Awesome. Cosby's playing Kage. Kage is an excellent character. Really does work with Nala's skill set. So this is going to be awesome. I don't remember seeing their Kage, but the way they play, Kage is actually a pretty good choice. That was a bad idea. I just gave them a ring out option. Of course I gave myself a ring out option too, but... Good game, Nala. Kage is going to be a really cool character for you. So I'm looking forward to seeing your growth with Kage as well. I do think Kage is a tough one, but Kage is a really skill rewarding character, and I think you're gonna like Kage a lot. Yeah. I understand polishing the rust, but I'm looking forward to the battles with any of your characters because I think there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I do think that the Aoi matchup is really hard because Aoi can really pull you off of your game plan. Like the hard part with Aoi depends on the Aoi player, but like you're kind of either you're doing the boxing when she's doing a lot of elbows. You gotta be very careful with it though, or you are conditioning her with low attacks and throws to kind of if she's playing very defensively, like she's trying to do reversals. If she's doing that, then you wanna kind of like pressure her with low attacks and with throws. If she's not doing that, then you want to play like very solid boxing, but the spacing can be very tricky. So she can be a tough one. And Genesis Frenzy is really strong. That's Sonic Wind. Maximilian also I believe is quite strong, but I haven't fought him enough. So Joshua, good to see you on the field of battle. Hey Blaine, good to see you. Thank you for this battle, Joshua. Blaring, very good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing really well. Part to Sarah's in the chat. Awesome. I think this is awesome battle between Akai and Jimmy. Very, very good battle. It's like right now it's in the 5th round. I see. They'll take good care of those nieces and nephews. Oh my god, this is so close. Akai almost has this. Okay, Jimmy took it. It was so close. That was such a close game. Well, it was 3-1. Okay, I miscounted the round count, but it was in the 4th round. But that was a really good battle. Akai really assaulted. Jimmy really assaulted Akai with lows, but Akai defended them well. The area that Akai is missing was that Akai didn't punish those lows. So if Akai improves on punishing those lows, maybe the round outcome would be different. But it was a really good battle. All right, Bruce, go. I really like fighting Bruce. It's really tough, but. Good battle, Bruce. Really good battle. It's a really actually scary fighting Bruce sometimes. Actually, usually it's scary fighting Bruce. Bruce has got really solid fundamentals. He's gonna punish you for doing a Bari. I'm glad I didn't get 6K'd. Fortunately, those only got normal hit, so I didn't Abari during when he did those. But Bruce's fundamentals are very strong, and so could have been like a really grave outcome. So really good battle. And that is really the correct way to play Brad. Brad's skills are strong on the defense side, but at the same time he has to be pretty patient. But when Brad gets the reads right on defense, it's very scary. Offense, he can go offensive, but against me, I have tools to deal with him if he gets too aggressive. But when he's playing much more safe and careful, it's a lot harder. It's more intimidating that way. All right, Death Black 650 is in here too. I don't recognize that name at all. So. Alright, Condor, here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be brutal. Alright, let's do this, Condor. Good round. This is the problem that I run into, is there are stuff that Leifei can really mess up. That sequence is one. I'm gonna lose this. Very good round. Can't believe how it still works like that. Very good battle, Condor. Okay, I think I'm understanding Condor's play a bit more about what's going wrong in my matches against him. It's really good. Well, not what's going wrong, what the strategic advantage he has against me. I think I'm understanding it better. Yeah, Genesis Frenzy's in here. It's really good. That's Quebert was surprised. I think they didn't realize. I think they didn't know that Sonic Win is Genesis Frenzy. Quebert's a good player. Plays on PC. So if for people that are playing on PC on the emulator, it's really good. Good job, Silverbolt. Good job. Aui's tough matchup. Actually, Aoi can be a very frustrating matchup for Sarah. You definitely want to use your good low attacks with Sarah. Though with Sarah, like everybody else, lows always have a risk. They always have a big risk. So you can't just throw them out too much, but they matter. No, getting to learn Sarah's different low attacks is actually really good, but the problem is they do put her at risk. And one of Sarah's strengths is that she can play in a way that has a lot less risk. Doesn't mean she's completely free of risk, but she can play in a way that is kind of hard to counterattack or to successfully, like, that you have to guess when you want to counterattack her. Alright, Taco Guy, here we go. No, Taco Guy's out. Is he disconnected? No. Man. It looks like Taco Guy might be disconnected. That is really too bad because I really loved our matches last night. He was playing Virtua Fighter and Mortal Kombat yesterday. Mortal Kombat's one of his really, really strong games. So is Tekken, I believe. Well, I think Tekken is his main game. This is his strongest game. But I believe that he's very well versed in Mortal Kombat, so he's been playing MK1 as well. Man, I'm sorry. That's too bad that we got disconnected. I'm hoping it's not a general disconnection where he's disconnected from the room, because that would really suck. Yeah, there's no way for me to see that log. So Taco does play smart. Just getting used to some of the nuances in VF, but he's getting them. I think last night, I think along with you, I think I saw like this general improvement. Yeah, he got disconnected from the room. That's really unfortunate because I really like Taco Guy's evolving game in VF and let's see more. Jimmy and I are like tied on like round counts and on games right now. Yeah, Jimmy's look. Don't underestimate Jimmy playing Leon at all. He understands the game to play any character, and his Leon's gonna be strong. And even in the matchup, we go back and forth, and it's a volatile matchup. Leon versus Leon is extremely volatile. It's really dangerous because both characters are good at crushing, and both characters are good at and both characters are open to crushing if they're not careful. Oh no, Taco Guy. Oh, that sucks, man. Taco Guy's console turned off. That happened last night to me, but that's because of my settings, so it was acting normal. Bruce the Beast is really strong. His boxing is really top. He's got really powerful boxing. So you watch the way he plays boxing, and it's really strong. So Akai is really good at using 3K plus G also now, and I've talked to Akai about it, and Akai understands that it is a move that you wanna, that like if the opponent's not punishing it, you gotta like it's then that's good to do. So I'll try to punish it, you know. Good game, Akai. Very scary game. Akai is starting to up their reward, and with a little risk. It's good. Hello, hello, wall the enemy. That's a good one. Silver Bolton is very true. Yes, the wall is the enemy. So. How's Jimmy on the buy round? No, Jimmy's still fighting. This is an awesome duel with Jimmy, though. But I'm gonna get spoiled. Once I fight Setsuna, Jimmy will take the lead. I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna do the best I can. It's really hard. But I think I'm understanding it a little better. It's still really, really hard. And Setsuna is really, really strong. Alright, here we go. Me and Jimmy. Here we go. This is gonna be really hard. That was excellent first round. Excellent first round. They defend good. That was good. Oh, awesome round. Awesome game, Jimmy. That was a wonderful fight. That is the power of Leon's ring out ability. It's really strong. And then Jimmy did use one of my the things I like to do in Okizeme recently, which is you hop away and you set up 6 XP, and if they do like anything like a rising attack, they're dead. That was an awesome battle. Really good game. Good game, Jimmy. I enjoyed that a lot. Let's see. Setsuna is really close there behind us, so just needs more clear rounds, but he can do it. And then we got Genesis Frenzy. Where's Genesis at? Genesis up there, right? Yeah. Genesis is storming the boards as well. Oh, this is a really close fight. Yep. Hey, Lightwing Dragon. It's good to see you. Alright. Here we go. I see. They left it They like to do 6 pp. They like to do 6 pp. Alright. That's no problem. I'll oblige. Gotta throw that. Good. Yeah, side blocking is really important. It doesn't always get disadvantaged, but it has adjusted frames. Yeah, Sarah is actually really vicious from the side if you start learning how to use her flamingo stance. But flamingo stance is a double-edged sword. It's really powerful though, and if you get good at that, then Sarah is really scary when she attacks people from the side. Her flamingo puts like an insane amount of pressure on them. So. Alright, practice Sarah, here we go. It's going to be another really tough battle. That's a ring out. Really good first round practice, Sarah. Too early. Awesome second round. Thank you very much, Nelly. Those were amazing battles. Oh, good game, Partisera. Good game. Good game. Let's see what they say. The only announcement VF related, I mean, that was made before, technically, is that Virtua 3 tournament battles is in the next Yakuza game. That was an awesome battle, Partisera. Good game. Okay, that's right. They're just going for all the low crushes. Alright, the Lei players is what I'm thinking about. That's what the issue is. Alright, RJ, here we go. It's good to have you in the league again, RJ, so welcome back. Really good battle. That third round was a lot better. That was really good. Stance change. You'll get to love. You'll learn to love the stance changes. It's a learning curve for sure. You know, any controller that you change to is going to be a learning curve. I'd say take about a month to really feel natural for any of them. Hitbox especially feels unintuitive at first, especially in VF. But once you get used to it, it's really, really good. So Hitbox is a wonderful one. Just getting the only thing in VF is getting used to sidestepping with it because it's like counterintuitive but it's really good. And I do like the 4 buttons, 4 fingers aspects on the directions. Half circle forward. Half circle motions are the trickiest. You want to make sure you're not hitting 3 buttons at once. So you can do it like tap 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 for half circle, and that will fix that. So just if you strum it, you're gonna probably mess up the half circle forward because you're gonna go too fast. You're gonna accidentally hit 3 during one time. There's gonna be a moment where all 3 buttons are pressed, and the game won't know what to do with that. That was really good. That's like when he evaded correctly. Like he just, I don't know if it's accident or guess, but that was really good. Awesome start. Good round, good round. It is. VF is a very deep game, so yeah, there's so much to learn, but they add up. All right. Setsuna is awesome, and he's got me this round. Awesome battle, excellent final round. That was such a fun battle, Setsuna. It does. It adds up and it builds up. So keep it up. Like, I really appreciate your resilience, Silverbolt. You're doing really good. Just and you're adding to it. Things click together too, and really awesome battle. So I think, man, look at this. We're all vying so closely. Get that. Particera 9-2. Particera is in position for second. Jimmy is yeah, complete clear. So that was amazing, right? So this is awesome. Condor is doing an amazing job here. The Vanessa journey is one of the really fun things to watch the last 3 years, 2.5 years, 2.25 years. But yeah, the last 2 years, it's been awesome watching a lot of, like, the Vanessa army just get stronger and stronger with the leadership of Nelly. So yeah. Good game, Genesis Frenzy. The lows really keep Aoi off her game. However, the frames are tough on lows. If you use lows, your frames are not as strong, and so it's really, really tough. So I think I'm going to take third. Condor, I believe, will be second. But it's hard because no, Condor is really, these next two battles, the current one and the next one's really hard for Condor. So I have a chance of taking second. Really, really hard. Yeah. I had a Nelly when I started, so so, and even though it's only just like we only played a little bit in New York, it meant a lot. Like fighting you taught a lot. Fighting, of course, Nelson, you and I had Hero. Here, America had Hero, and Hero was like the best teacher. So Hero is still like the best teacher. Like the lessons that Hero gave, I have notes. The lessons that Hero gave still are what I'm teaching today, right? It's just in a different form, but basically Hero was like the first one I ever saw that broke down basically high advantage, high Nitaku, like basically high advantage, small advantage, high disadvantage, small disadvantage, and neutral, right? But he mostly taught neutral last because neutral is like the more complicated beast in VF, right? And he's really like drilling in, and he sees through everyone's gameplay so fast. All right, Silverbolt, here we go. All right, let's do a good spar. Let's good training, and we'll keep it up. Very good choice and throw. I used the openness to lows. That's what I used. So. And then this is one of my tricks. Hop away into... Well, I try to watch what you're doing before I do this. But I do, like... There's a lot of things that will tell me that you might be open to that, so... Alright, good game. It was a good spar, my student. It's a good spar, Silverbolt. I was able to attack when you decide to throw. I used long range, and Leon can fight that way. It's a gamble for me though. If you're able to block any of that, it's really dangerous. So sometimes with Leon, you might want to watch low. Most characters you do want to watch mid when it's long range. And I did attack you with like Leon's lows. I don't think I overdid it though. So yeah, very good game. Yeah. There is a lot of paper, rock, scissors. Yeah, that's exactly it at times. Sometimes it's just that. I was able to set up situations where I was confident in the guess, but you do punish me like a lot of times when I try to do certain stuff, right? So it was really good. It was good stuff. Good spar. And we'll keep working on it, and we'll talk about decision making at medium and long range, though I'm not always the best example of that. And then there's a lot of good stuff to build on, to add to everything that you've built so far. Well, it was an awesome battle. Jimmy is what? Okay. What the heck? Did I win this? No, Jimmy won. But yeah, that was awesome. So I was like, there's no way. It's just point counts. It's different. All right, that was an awesome battle. I'm happy to take the second place against Jimmy's insane run. But Jimmy, it's not like luck. We know Jimmy's a favorite. So hey, Setsuna, that was an awesome battle. This is really good battles in this league. I had a great time.
It was pretty good.
Congratulations, Jimmy. Nobody can now take first, so except for Jimmy, which is awesome, and we knew. But I mean, nobody can share first. Jimmy is alone at the top, you know. And but Setsuna and I are still, and Akai are still grueling it out for second. So it's really good stuff. Because I think both of you are in position to tie for second with 1 win and overtake and dominate second with 2 wins. So, but Akai won't be able to because of circumstance. So yeah, but but that said, this was
all right, guys. Oh, go ahead, Chandler. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, this was just awesome. I had a wonderful league. This was an awesome league battle. So, cheers.
All right. All right, guys. I'm going to now this 1 and 3 minute ad. Then there will the countdown for the intermission, 5 matches. So it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes before we begin the second league of the day. And then we'll have to talk a little bit about current events and some topics of interest to us. And so that's about it for now.
Definitely. I kind of parenthesis here. I want to congratulate Particero on his placement. I mean, he's been steadily growing over the last few weeks, which is good. Very good. So yeah, kudos to that.
Yes, both you and Particero took me down really good. This league battle is awesome.
Oh, they played a spoiler.
They did. If I had won either of those matches, I would have taken first. So, but it's okay because they played awesome. Like they played really good, both of them. I really enjoyed that match. Those matches.
It was the Maryland spoil.
Yeah, Maryland spoiler. Yeah. But Akai, you and I had a good battle, even though the round count wasn't the best. But but this current way that you're playing Pi is it's a lot more stressful. I like it. You just up the reward in a certain area.
Thanks for the compliment.
It's good. Yeah. I was just like, I gotta get him now before he starts, doing some really like extra scary stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to take that momentum and win.
I'll tell you, you can stand to be a little bit more annoying. Take a cue from Rodney.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. So like the annoying factor is increasing.
I against Rodney and Tanky Man's Pies, both slightly different.
Yeah.
So try to take the best aspects that they have and incorporate into my game here and there.
Yeah, I'm excited for I mean, you're already really strong, so let's say that first. But I'm looking forward to this future iteration of Akai, whatever that balance is. But it's very like, now it's got more stress on top of the like, how do I crack this thing? So, usually I'm trying to figure out how to crack you. But now it's like, this thing is cracking back. It's
Hey, thanks for playing, Jimmy. Let's see. Yeah, so thanks for playing, Jimmy, Particero, Left Black.
Well, thanks so much. Oh man, Jimmy's got to go. Okay, good games, Jimmy. Congratulations on an amazing season, as always. And I'm glad it was you. You would be my first pick for the person that would really show another level on the league. So this was awesome, and I really love you're doing it with a lot of character variety too. And I think playing League has helped Jimmy too, because League is a different format, and I think Jimmy's the type of player that was always insanely strong at like long set battles and medium set battles. Yeah. But I think basically this mode kind of forced him to go a little more YOLO, a little more like gamble and make some quick like and commit a little earlier to some tactical play. And so I think and watching Jimmy during this season, I think you can see him adapt to the league's format. So
Yeah, definitely. But it's always with Jimmy. It's he's just so good that it's hard for him not to play in those kind of sets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say that he's developed a very snappy play style with this, which is good.
Yeah, he's just the way.
I have to say.
Go ahead.
I'll just make 2 comments here. One, congrats, Jimmy. But I appreciate really strong players participating in the league because it gives us players a goal to beat them up. You know, so that's it's good to have really strong players to work and have for us to try.
We have to keep working hard.
Yeah, working harder, right? So.
Yeah, 100%. No, it feels exactly the same.
And the other thing was that he just came to play the first Open League just to ensure that he could get all the most wins this third quarter.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start the timer now. So 5 matches.
I think that's it, right? Jimmy can take the early retirement.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, Joshua Pac-Man with the promotion match.
Promotion match. All right, so let's see. What's some of the things we have? 2 offline events coming up. In 2 weeks is the I'm sorry, the name is blanking out for me. What is the name of the event?
Night of the 09ers in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now. In 13 days.
Less than 2 weeks now.
And actually, quite a lot of players from Portland are planning to attend that event. So we got Portland, Seattle.
Awesome.
I am trying to get Canada to come in. So even though that person might be the favorite, but I'm going to try to get Owen Jeff to go into that tournament. So it's a lot of fun. We're excited about it. It's going to be around noontime in Seattle's International District, which has a lot of good food.
And then 1 week after the 09er event is the Akizemi event, which has, I believe, $1,100 money pot for the top finishers.
Yep, out in Colorado. The name Akizemi is because it's named after the arcade, Akihabara Arcade. And so, yeah. Combined with Okizemi. So,
yeah, I love the plays on words.
It's a fun play on words. It's an amazing venue. It's going to be an awesome tournament.
And a little update on the NEC event that was happening on the first weekend of December. It's been changed now to be December 8th through 10th, I believe. Same place in Cherry Hill. That's Philadelphia, the greater metropolitan area of Philadelphia. Nope. Oh, that's not right. Preparing. And let's see, anything else we have? We had the Tokyo Game Show. Only VF News is VF3 TV. Won't be playable in Infinite Wealth, like a dragon. Not the news I was hoping for, but like what Mike said to me, is like as VF fans, we took the scraps.
Yeah. Well, but Virtua Fighter 3 Tournament Battle is an amazing game. I'm glad more people get a chance to play it. That said, it's the hardest one to start as a beginner. It's the hardest VF to learn as a beginner. But it's an awesome game, and if people do stick with it, they can find that it's a really great game that sets the stage. And surprisingly, plays a lot like Tekken. So, because there's a lot of spatial, there's a lot of whiff punishing, and a lot of like you're dead if you whiff. But it's an awesome game. One of my favorites, and well, it is on my list of favorites for the top VF games ever. So.
general, if you want to keep the hobby alive, that just means that they have all the arcade versions of VF
Yep.
ready to play on their Ryuga Gotoku system. So they could make a compilation. We wouldn't be bad, right?
Right. Well, and everything suggests that this is an emulated version of the Model 3 arcade. So this is like the arcade game. This isn't a port of the Dreamcast game, right? This is an emulated Model 3, and I mean, looks like they've cracked Model 3 because that's the big deal with this Yakuza is how many Model 3 games are in that game. So we've got Daytona 2, which is a lost gem, but it's going to be called Sega Racing, Sega Series Racing. I forgot what it's called, but it's because for licensing purposes, it's not called Daytona 2.
Yeah, gotta not get sued.
Yeah,
Gotta not get sued.
yeah. So next on the topics list is
Yeah, RJ said he still has the VF3 on his Dreamcast. Yeah, my Dreamcast is still working. I just had to always reset the timer every time I try to turn it on.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. I still got my Dreamcast.
It's confirmed that it's not the Dreamcast version. It's a actual.
Judging
arcade.
from the photos, it definitely does not look like the Dreamcast version, and we're not talking about like there's just a lot of hints that show that it's the arcade version, or there's some hints, but you know we'll see when we see it in video form. But so far, the photos that we're seeing, it looks like it's the arcade version.
What was different, Chan-Chan, from the arcade to the Dreamcast?
The physics are slightly different. They're both really, really good, and honestly, in an era when ports were only good if they were on Saturn, this VF3TB was a good port. Captures the spirit, but it's almost like a different version of the game, so to speak. If you're talking about very small details and combos too, but at the same time, the fundamentals are the same, and it's a really good game. But the Model 3, there'll be some combos that are a bit different. And Model 3 looks way better than the Dreamcast version, but the Dreamcast version still is in my view, it's a very admirable port that was outsourced. Yeah. But also, to me, the other thing that suggests it's Model 3 is just the fact of how many Model 3 games are in that game. So it's like they've ported a lot of Model 3 games that were not available before. So that's just more of like adding two and two.
And that will be available in January 2024.
Along with every good game that's coming out in 2024 so far, right? Tekken, Under Night there's like 10 games I want to play.
Span, right?
There's like 10 games I would like to play that are coming out. Like even Final Fantasy Rebirth is like in January 20 or like that week. So that week is going to be the craziest week in gaming next year.
All it's missing is Ultimate Showdown upgrade. Yeah, I still want my upgrade to Ultimate Showdown.
Oh, so Jimmy, to clarify, when I said outsourced, I meant Virtua Fighter 3 Tournament Battle on Dreamcast was outsourced to Genki. Was an outsourced port. And I think it was quite admirable job, actually. I think it's a really good game still. It's just, but that's of course an attacking point on it, is that's not the perfect game. But back then, most games were not the perfect port, especially like in retrospect.
Yeah. I mean, back then, with the Dreamcast, Soul Calibur came out on
it was an upgrade.
and that was like an upgrade.
Yeah, that was a huge upgrade.
Upgrade that from the arcade to the Dreamcast. So you see an upgrade to the Soul Calibur versus Virtua Fighter 3.
It's downgrade.
It's downgrade. It kind of. It didn't feel like I wasn't a big fan of Virtua Fighter back then, but to see that it kind of like it was not that impressive to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, it played amazing. So you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, the gameplay itself, I believe there was no change in the gameplay itself. Just the graphics was not as impressive.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, yeah, especially because we got it when Dreamcast. The U.S. Dreamcast launch had Soul Calibur, which was one of the best games of that system. You know, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese launch did not have Soul Calibur at launch, so you know. But
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Soul Calibur was a big upgrade. Because I had my university had Soul Calibur the arcade before it came out on Dreamcast, and so it was like shocking how big of a difference, because Soul Calibur arcade looks a lot like Soul Edge. It looks a lot like Soul Edge. So same engine. You know, you would compare it to Tekken
Soul
3.
Calibur arcade, I enjoy it, but then when it came out Dreamcast, I was like, wow, it's better than arcade.
Gorgeous.
Usually when somebody go from arcade to console back then, it's always a downgrade, right? It's like,
Yeah.
It's the first time I see it, like, upgrade.
Is
So.
upgrade.
I remember Marvel vs. Capcom PSX edition. That was fun.
Well, and Namco, you know, like since PlayStation, since especially Tekken 3, but since Tekken 2 even, like they were committed to really making their games like awesome on console with like full budget. You know, and Soul Calibur was like a new apex of fighting games being brought to console. Not just upgraded by graphically, but like in game modes, in theater mode. Well, actually, theater mode was in all of the Soul Blades, I think, in Soul Edge games. But and then Soul Calibur just
guys,
plays clean.
We just have one more match to go before we begin the second Open League. All right, Chance's Friends is doing a little winning streak here.
Yeah.
To see Chance at your against. Okay, and so any last minute people want to join, passcode is 0924 for the North America region. We will prefer everyone to play on a wired connection. Except better experience for everybody.
It's a nice reversal. There you go. That's something that Condor didn't do that I know Chat was looking at. Nice. Ooh, yeah.
That was a really fun first try.
Yeah, it looked like.
Hey Digimon, passcode is 0924. Every time I host a room, it's always the passcode. The passcode is the date and the month. Hey, welcome Digimon, Jeffrey Prayer. Oh, we got Tricky to join at very last minute, so that's 11 players now. Thanks for joining.
Good to have you here, Tricky.
And so I'll be not playing the second league. I'll need to do something around the house. We got 11 people, so now let's see. Joshua and our.
Awesome. Oh, look at that conversion. Beautiful beautiful round. Good round, Genesis. Good round. That was cool.
That was an easy throw after the jump key.
That was a wonderful round.
And so if you want to watch other people streaming, Silverbolt I know is streaming, and Chanchai. Tricky might be streaming. She might stream on YouTube. Alright, good luck guys.
Good luck.
Start up, and then I'll be away from keyboard and be back in the middle of this league.
Alright, good luck guys.
Alright, good luck. See you soon. School's back in session, indeed. And we got Tricky in here to whoop everybody's butts here. Hey, Tricky's gonna embrace the YOLO. Embrace the YOLO of League mode. Oh boy, I'm gonna get YOLO'd right away. I'll try to be very careful of the YOLO. Alright. Tricky, connection feeling okay? Alright, cool. Alright. There we go. Okay, I just wanted to make sure if Tricky was playing or not. So they're playing defensive too, which is good. There we go. There we go. All right, good. Good game, Tricky. I wasn't sure if you were playing in the first round or not, because a lot of times when people play like that, like they got a phone call or something. So, but I really enjoyed it. Really good match, and then yeah, embrace the YOLO at certain key points. It was a lot of fun. Really good. A lot of fun. So, but I'm really glad you're here, Tricky. Tricky's one of the best players in the country. Like, really one of the best players in the country. And Eileen is her main character, yes. So, yeah. Be very, very... yeah. As you said. Alright, thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Jimmy. I think I can do it. But really, really, lots of good matches here, and Setsuna is in good position to take to tie with me with second with this league, and then over. So this is going to be really good fights. Very scary. Hey RJ, good first round. Really good. I always forget that he's actually pretty good at this stuff. I gotta be serious. Delays. Their rhythm is really messing with me. It's really good. It's actually a really strong suit of their plays that they're suddenly confident in their like melee and they've got sequences. Good game, RJ. Good game. RJ is one of those players that is scary for me because he doesn't exactly buffer, and so like if I evade, I'm gonna get hit on that. Like I don't know if it's intentional or not. And then on top of that, at long range, they kind of play this really slow game. It's good. And then close range, it's easy to like underestimate their like what they are good at. Because of how they play the rest of things, right? And because sometimes they like to really like Abare, and then sometimes they like to play very patient, and then and it kind of catches you off guard, and my antenna is kind of going off on it. So it's a really good battle, and it's like I have to calibrate and figure out like what is this guy's mode right now. So like when we first played, he was like being way too Abare. So it's really good. It's a really scary mix-up between Abare and defensiveness, and I like it. That's really cool about Jeffrey. Like Jeffrey is very good at that, so can't underestimate him. I should fuzzy on, that should have been a fuzzy. That's okay. That's okay. Didn't fuzzy. That was a really good round. Awesome round, Bruce. This is going to be a really rough week for me. Setsuna will probably win this one. Awesome battle, Bruce. Really awesome battle. This is great. Everyone's bringing it. Yeah, Condor likes circulars. You gotta be very careful. Condor really likes... He does throw too. He really likes circulars with Lei Fei. And his circulars mess me up. So I gotta work on my skills on certain things in the Lei Fei matchup when I fight them too. There's certain things... There's a certain idea I want to work on. Come on, Tricky. I want you to take this one. I'm cheering for Tricky. %. Alright, Digimon also really scary, Jeffrey. So here we go, Digimon. Let's fight. Yeah, it's always a guard break. This Leon's uppercut is insane like that because it can cheat certain kicks. Okay. This is rough, but I got this. Really love fighting you, Digimon. That was so good. Good game, good game. Good round, good round, good round. Okay, I can get used to this. I know it's a little off, but we can do this. It's a very hiccupy connection, but it's fun, so. Oh, that was it. Good game, good game. Good game. Ah, that was really good. That was brilliant. Good job, Digimon. Congratulations. Good fight. Good game. Gotta work on, if I feel the situations like that where it's harder to, where it's staticky, then I need to increase, like, margin of safety. And I didn't. I doubled down, right? Doubling down is kind of scary, so, yeah, I need to be more prudent. I think I was overconfident, and, but when you're overconfident, then you do then you can get yourself wrung out pretty easily. Actually, happens a lot for me too. So a lot of people have seen it in past leagues where I get too reckless, and I let myself get way too reckless there. So, but Digimon did an awesome job managing it really well. That was awesome. He evaded to the back, then and also was able to get a back throw. So the throw wasn't like so quick that it was a side throw, and it was perfect. So it was really good. All right, Silverbolt, here we go. Tricky is awesome to play. I love fighting Tricky. Tricky is wonderful to fight against, and I really enjoy battles with Tricky. Backdash twice. That's right. That's right. Good game, Silverbolt. Setsuna and let's see. Yeah, Setsuna's in second place right now and can take it. Um, Tricky is fighting Condor, Maximilian, Digimon, and Silverbolt left. You got the elbows. You got the elbows. Yeah, good games. Yeah, with the elbows, there is follow up, but not always the follow up kick. But there's also like doing a throw, and eventually, I don't think we've worked on fuzzy guard yet, but at some point that comes in. But right now, it's not the time to do fuzzy guard for you yet. But it's fun to learn. Though you might want to, just because that will get you to buffer tighter. And then it makes, but right now that's not your challenge too, right? Your challenge is more, I think, maybe training you to do elbows after very certain lows with each character. If you go into training mode, and you record the AI doing different lows, and then you let yourself get hit by them. Look for the ones that are like +2 on hit. And when those happen, you do an elbow right away. That's definitely one thing to add in. Leon, I make it hard to do that. But almost every character, when they do like a low kick, like you can elbow them right away, or low punch if you're not feeling super sharp, you know, because it is still like a sharp play, not like I'm doing it more than most people. So yeah. Test this theory out. Yep, that theory is correct. Don't fall for the traps. Alright, good battle, Condor. I need to change that one aspect of my play though. It's gonna be good. This is really good training. Some really good stuff. I'm really glad Tricky's in here. And it looks like Tricky's got their groove. They're matching the connections, and they're good luck, Silverbolt. Good. Nope, that's not guaranteed. First round, Joshua. Good game. Good game. It was a interesting idea to catch. It would have caught me if I evaded. Unfortunately, I crouched back dash under it and then was able to hit. But Joshua, anytime we can definitely do some sparring sometimes too, and you know, get your game sharpened back up. I know it's been really rusty too, but I also just really enjoy fighting. But I also, I'm very vicious, but but I'm always happy to spar, man. Though it's always tricky because it's challenging with family, but I'd love to spar. No. Oh, this is. I think Tricky's got definitive. Yeah, Tricky's got definitive first place. There it is. Setsuna has got a very strong second, and then a lot of us are fighting to get third, maybe second, but probably third. So man, Setsuna, you are playing awesome. We got Tricky on stream. I think you can watch Tricky's stream on Akai's channel. Alright, Nala, here we go. Oh, very good round. Very good round, Nella. Alright. Good game. Good game, Nala. Yeah. Tricky has sealed first, absolutely now. Congratulations, Tricky, on first place. Setsuna and I haven't fought. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. But Setsuna's got it. I have to 3-0 him just to tie. So Setsuna's definitely got second place. I'm just gonna try to tie. I have to like 3-0 him to tie. I cannot 3-0 Setsuna. I mean, I've done it. It's gonna be very hard. He's not gonna let that happen. Yeah, he's not gonna let me 3-0 to tie him for second. But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try. But Setsuna is playing better in this league than I am. In this league battle, Setsuna right now is playing better than I am. So. And then Bruce the Beast. No, Bruce the Beast might take it all. Bruce the Beast is in position. So it's really a fight. For second place, it's really a fight between Bruce and Setsuna. I'm going to make it really hard for Setsuna. But I think Silverbolt is going to make it hard for Bruce. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. This is going to be tough. But Setsuna 3-0s me, which he can do. If Setsuna 3-0s me, he will definitely have. Then he'll have second. If I take a round, him and Bruce can tie. If Bruce 3-0s. So this is going to be good stuff. Nice. You guys had a good battle there. And yeah, RJ is doing good. Digimon doing good too. I need to look. Alright, Setsuna, here we go. I'm going to try to spoil you. You try to spoil me. But yeah. That's a ring out. Alright. Now it's between him and Bruce. I am not in second place. Alright. Good game, Setsuna. I think Bruce... Let's see how Bruce does. Let's see how Bruce the Beast does. They're still fighting, so this is really good. With Bruce versus Silverbolt, that's a lot of boxing and a lot of patience. It's good. That should be good. Bruce does have the damage advantage because he knows his combos. But Silverbolt also can catch Bruce on some stuff because Bruce will have to fight someone who's very patient. And I do think being patient against Bruce is good. So let's see how that plays out. Tricky, congratulations. Commanding 9-0 plus 20. Alright. Here we go. How did this shake up? Yeah. Congratulations to Bruce. Setsuna, it was an insane battle. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight. Good. That sounds like a really good game, actually. So, yeah. Alright. That was another good league battle. That was a grueling fight. Grueling fight for all of us. Tricky dominated. Congratulations, Tricky. So.
Yeah, almost our fight with Tricky went down to the last hit. So.
Yeah.
Pretty good, but she was swinging it. She was swinging it around on the way back. So.
Yeah. She did her thing. Digimon, like really grueling fight with Digimon. He threw me out of the ring, and so, man, Bruce the Beast, congratulations on second. Bruce always playing really strong, good fundamentals, excellent, like superb boxer. So yeah, that was good.
Alright, I'm going with a 3-minute ad here, and then after that, we'll start the timer, 5 matches, and we'll go talk a little bit about a topic that Chen want to go over about replay and training mode. Alright?
So Black Alert, we are in warm-ups right now, so you can join. Basically, we've got warm-ups for about 15 minutes, and then but you can join us during this warm-up period. Password is today's date, 0924. So come on in. You're welcome. When the league battle's in session, that's when you can't join the room. Now we're not in session. We just finished the second league battle. We're in intermission. Akai is running 3-minute ads right now on his channel. And, oh, nice. So what Tricky say? Tricky says, good game. Thank you for not beating me up when I wasn't ready. No problem. I can tell when it looks like you had something to do. And it looks like you were holding guard, but you were just saying, dude, not a problem. But I really enjoyed our fight. I was confused at first. But that's awesome. I hope you're having awesome time with your niece, Tricky. And again, congratulations on the awesome league battle win. Black Alert, please come on in. I hope if you're not already. Let's see. When people fight Bruce the Beast, it's good to know that you have to use really good fundamental VF. You need to understand the flow of VF. You need to have a good sense of when you're at a disadvantage and when you have advantage. Bruce is a really strong boxer. Not just because they play Brad, the way they play is like a strong boxer. So it's really good to work on it. And Bruce is a very crafty player too. But they do play to Brad's strengths, which is more on the defensive end of things. That was a really good fight, Joshua. That's a really good battle, you guys. Let's see here. Is Black Alert? Okay, so Black Alert, you can join. The room is 12986. The password is today's date, 09 as in September, 24th, because it's the 24th day of September. So 0924. Oh, okay. Hey, well, Black Alert, thank you very much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And for the news updates on the league, Jimmy Claymore has commanded, totally dominated first place. Nobody will be able to catch up. I'm in second place, but I've only got a one league battle lead over Setsuna, so he can tie it to tie with me for second. Same for Akai. If Akai wins the next league battle, they can tie for second. If I win it, then I win it. There's not much change in the results there. but right now, yeah, those two are able to tie for second. And those are just counting the number ones. That's not an aggregate. It's just adding up. It's the sum of all number one wins in league battles this season. So it's pretty fun and exciting. And I'm glad that Tricky came in and she showed that, league format's her thing too. She's not gonna say that, but but I think she's got this league thing down more. Hey, thank you very much for the matches, Joshua Pac-Man. Really appreciate you being here, and I really appreciate your support. And I'm glad that you're on the PS4. I'm really glad your brother has helped you out with that. So, like I said earlier, really happy if you ever want to spar. We can try to find some time to spar, okay? We can train together, work on some stuff, polish that rust off.
Alright guys, after this match we'll start the timer for 5 matches before we begin the third league of the day. And once we finish the third league, we'll end the day off with a random team battle. Okay.
Dude. Alright. Are 3-minute ads still going right now?
No, it's done. It's done.
Okay. Did you want to go into any topic right now?
Yeah, I think you want to talk about replays and the Ghost AIs.
Yeah.
I think from what you saw from the Tekken promotion, in which they were showing a lot of impressive features that they're having for Tekken 8.
But it does segue into the history of VF as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
so for example, Tekken 8 showed off some really awesome features at TGS, right? The first is a feature that we've seen first in Guilty Gear Plus R, where you can watch a replay, and during the replay, you can in Guilty Gear Plus R, you can stop a moment in the replay and continue playing. So whether you got a launcher and you want to finish the combo, or you block something you want to punish, you can do it. Tekken 8 takes that step further. Not only is it an at-launch feature on Tekken 8, but in Tekken 8 you can also it actually tells you that you had a better punish, and it does tell you, and it does give you suggestions for combos you could have done. So I think that's pretty awesome. And it is a good reminder also that, it's true that this game doesn't have replays, and a lot of players hate that this game does not have player-operated replays. It just has the VFTV, which VFTV is an awesome feature. But ever since Virtua Fighter 4, Virtua Fighter has been one of the first fighting games that has a replay feature that's on console. And so VF has always had that feature until this particular game, where this game just does it on VFTV. And when we're watching, we're kind of watching a replay actually when we're watching our friends' matches in League. Similarly, Tekken 8 also showed their what was the other thing? Was that mainly it?
The Ghost AI, I think.
Yeah. So yes, Tekken 8 is going to be making extensive use of Ghost AI. It claims to be pretty detailed and also capture the way that you move, which is a big deal in Tekken. So the Ghost AI, like your Ghost AI, they claim that, one, you can't fake it. Like, you can't just play badly and make your Ghost AI worse. That's not going to happen. So it's going to probably take the best of the way that you play, but it's going to incorporate your combos, your movement, and it probably claims or implies it's going to be incorporating your tactics. I don't know if it'll capture your strategy, but your tactics can heavily lead that strategy. So that's a pretty awesome feature. And to tie that back into Virtua Fighter history, ever since Virtua Fighter 2 on the Sega Saturn, Virtua Fighter was a series that really pioneered this, like, building an AI based on the way the player plays. And I think, Akai, you have a better memory about Virtua Fighter 4, even taking it further for the Ghost data. Did you want to say something on that?
Well, in the vanilla VF4, I'm not sure what the actual term they use, but you could basically train your own, like, AI bot. You basically train it, and then you play against it or use it. Other people could play against it. I didn't really go use that feature that much, but that kind of reminds me of what that was.
Yeah. So, but it's also true that, like, again, with Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, they also, what came with the game was replay files of pro players, but also the quest mode is loaded with scripts that I think this is just player names. It's not supposed to represent the actual player, just the character and the name. But VF has always done quite a bit with the Ghost data, but especially VF2 and VF4. And I think it's awesome that that's being revisited again, especially nowadays. But nowadays, we've got machine learning, AI, and more advanced ways of developing such things. And I've also envisioned that a future VF would be cool if it kind of incorporated bots, but we can just call them Ghost data if the word bots is frustrating for people to have the idea that we're fighting them. But I honestly think that we're at a point where we can make the single player experience, like, so much better, and it's not just story mode. It doesn't even need story mode. It just needs really fun gameplay. And if you make single player a lot of fun, then lots of people will just keep playing. And then you keep the multiplayer competitive and awesome, then I think that's an awesome path forward in fighting games. And I think the Tekken 8 approach sounds pretty good to me because of this, especially if the Ghost data is decent, right? So, and it makes it a fun way to train against people. But in their case, I think you can just pull people's Ghost data off the ladder and just kind of like, okay, I'm fighting this Ghost data based on Arslan and Ash's matches, So I think that's going to be an awesome feature, just like how in Virtua Fighter Virtua Fighter 5 online, right? And in Final Showdown, you could pull players like best replay, right, or the replay they decide to upload for their account. And it would be nice to have something like that in the future again. So, what are your thoughts, or what are other people's thoughts in the chat?
I always see Street Fighter 6 training practice mode and the stuff with Tekken, especially the stuff where you could play the last 10 seconds and then change like what you did. See, I think from what I saw in the presentation, it's like the person was playing against you, did like a certain attack move, you could replay the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
The person does the same thing, but you could change what you do, so you could find like the best option to defeat whoever move that when it did. That was really nice. I believe this. I think people been mentioning that's something that was incorporated with Guilty Gear. I think Ascent Core or R. I can't remember the exact.
Yeah,
title.
It's Accent Core plus R. Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm. But see how much stuff Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 has included in their practice and training mode. Hopefully the next Virtua Fighter that does come out will not be too far off from those games.
Yeah.
But those I'm not so upset with Ultimate Showdown not having replay.
Yeah.
Because with the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, you could always just record back the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes and have a save anybody, so you can always look back too.
So
but but seeing all these other games, there's a lot of stuff that it could, Sega could be incorporating into.
Yeah, it's a great point, and I agree that on PS4, PS5, and modern Xbox consoles, and even Switch now, we have recording, and so that is awesome, and I do love that, and I love that we have streaming. So that because of that, I didn't mind not having replays in this game. However, but again, like you said, what we're seeing now are interactive replays, and that's awesome. And then also on my Twitch, Black Alert commented that they miss how VF4 let the replays in VF4, and I think VF4 Evo also let you rewind, let you fast forward, but also I like it when they give you frame stats on the replay, like on the VFNet replays in Japan, and also and VF4 had you can do frame step, so you can not really frame step, but it was like a few frames. You can advance it forward and backwards, so you can do slow motion. You can rewind it. That not as useful, but it's still awesome to have to see things more directly. Though I think with Particle, I have a feeling that one of the reasons they didn't do replays in this game, this is going to sound like a dumb reason, but I think it's because of the way particle effects happened in this game when they overlaid the sparks, the hit sparks. Because you notice how when in some of our matches when the replay goes through and we skip the replay, but the hit spark is still going off in the game. I have a feeling it's a dumb reason like that. They're we're not ready for prime time on our replay system for that one reason, right? And it sounds dumb, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason. So, those one would argue. Go ahead.
I think in general, I think I'm sorry, but in general, any tools that you get for training is good. So I always felt that Tekken 7 not letting you have a complete training mode while you were waiting in rank was not good. The way that I managed to flow while I'm waiting in rank in this game is so much better because I'm labbing, I'm training, and then all of a sudden the match comes, and then I'm making such an amazing use of my time. But definitely having a system like that where it would let you pause and put yourself in the situation again, that would definitely be great.
Yeah. Something I'll add is that something I would like to see though in the future VF but the problem is this feature set would only really be for the top 5% of players that are really hardcore. but you could do it in a way that was more appealing. But I'd like to see them expand on the training modes features, like having a lot more recording slots, being able to almost script a bot yourself. But Ghost AI is probably the way to go. But being able to script bots better to be more complete would be amazing. And but it does blow my mind the way the Japanese players, the way they script those 3 recordings to make it play kind of like a scripted AI. It's pretty nuts. The way that the Japanese players spar against the AIs they program themselves with recording mode.
Yeah, I didn't understand why like you have those 3 replays, right? But like in Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, you could choose the percentage of like how much they use like replay 1 versus replay 2, or replay versus 3.
Yeah.
So instead, like you random like 1/3 of the time doing this action versus the others, you could say, oh, it does 50% this action, and the other 2 actions like 25%. You can actually modify the ratio. But that was a nice feature Evolution. But I have to say that even with its lack of features, the best thing that Sega did was having the input display, and I think that feature has been there since Virtua Fighter 3.
Yes.
That has revealed so much stuff and just trying to lab stuff in order to just figure out what is correct and wrong with the game.
And and to clarify, well, no, just to clarify, Akai's talking about the frame counter display, right? The one with the frame counter when you hit the buttons.
Yes.
So, yeah.
There's also one more thing. This is the last match before we begin the third league of the day. So any last minute people want to join, 0924.
Yes, we're taking more fighters in for the next league battle. The league battle will be starting soonish, but come join us. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Is starting right now? Okay.
Yeah, is there someone want to join right now or something?
Nope, we're good. All right, let's do it. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to start now. Okay.
Okay. Right. Good luck.
Good luck.
So I hope everybody enjoyed our chat on that. Try to squeeze as much as we can in a small amount of time, but I think that's. It's like, yeah, we might not have the biggest news outside of Virtua Fighter 3 TV at Tokyo Game Show, but it is still fun to talk about what features we would like in the future, what we'd like. There's a lot of good stuff we like from this game, and there's definitely a lot of things we'd like more in the future that can make the experience better for us as players. Some competitors, some casual, some people entry level. Someone brought up a good point. Story mode is actually really important for a casual audience, even if it sucks, but we'll talk about that later. Here we go. That's what it is. Alright, very good battle. Really good recovery, and then, yeah, it's really scrapping at those last 2 rounds. Hey, David Blaine, so good to see you. Again, thanks for all the support. Man, 2019 was a good year. So hang in there, RJ. Hang in there. Alright, Nala, here we go. So, if you're hitting tech roll and you're holding guard because you're already hitting it, that can be the reason that you're not getting those blocks. If you were trying to block and that's what happened, I can explain it sometime to you. But you're probably like me, where you feel like, oh, I already hit guard because I was doing tech roll. So that might be like why you're not blocking in those situations, right? If you're not blocking during tech roll, I can walk you through why that happens when you're trying to block, right? Good game, Nala. So, I have a feeling this is what's happening to you. You find yourself under pressure. You get knocked down, and I'm on you, and you tech roll, and instead of like tech roll, let go, and then hit guard. Yeah. So what happens is you're probably doing what I do, which is I hit all 3, and then I let go of punch and kick, and I'm keeping guarding. But if you do that, it's a weird thing, but there's a meaty timing, those 3 frames when it's meaty. But once they pass, it's like you suddenly stop guarding, even though you're holding guard. So my recommendation is getting yourself used to letting go and then pressing guard again. If you want to force yourself, try double tapping guard. It's not a perfect fix. It took me a while to get used to this, and a lot of people thought that I was... this started in Final Showdown, so this has been since Final Showdown, and it's part of a feature, but it's kind of a dumb feature. It has to do with the way that the meaty timing is programmed, but I used to have this problem. So my recommendation: double tap guard when you're doing tech roll. If you decide that you want to guard, force yourself to tap guard twice, just so that you can reset it and make sure that you're guarding properly. The technical way is that you're supposed to be guarding just a little before. You're supposed to be hitting guard a little, not like immediate, but a bit of a ways, like 10 frames before, like 5 frames before you recover. That's really what would help fix that. Yeah. This one's not the DDR effect. This is because the way that meaty time is coded, and like there's a weird explanation for it. Like it's actually a feature, but it's similar to where it wants you to like confirm situation to guard, so it doesn't want you to just, because what happens is the guard becomes like a null. Yeah, so if you just held guard like way early before you tech rolled, that's so. Just get used to hitting guard later, or letting go and hitting guard again. That's my advice. Get used to guarding as a response that they're about to attack. Oh, awesome! Tricky's in this league. All right, Tricky, here we go. This will be a lot of fun. I like that. Oh my gosh. From high to low guard's different. That has to do with the online netcode. With the netcode, like you kind of have to do it. You have to read to do low attack, to block low attacks, because you have to be a little bit earlier. Okay, got it. This is really good. Alright, let's focus on this tricky. Tricky is amazingly scary. Really good, that dash. Good game, Tricky. I'm glad I got the guard break. It's like such a scrappy fight. Earlier I talked about how Leon versus Leon can be very volatile. It's the same with Leon versus Eileen. Leon is equipped to fight Eileen's string game, but at the same time, you know, that's a double. That's like super risk, and the reward is really, it's there. It's scary. Yeah. Yeah, the buffers are just very different. Yeah, because like again, Street Fighter wants you to have perfectly timed attacks, normal attacks, and then but it lets you buffer supers and specials. Um, so like the timing is really tough on Street Fighter for doing like link combos. Yeah, but then anything that's scripted canned combos are a lot easier. VF lets you buffer a lot. But it's very unique. But I also like the way like Under Night in Birth feels. That's an anime fighter, but it's a really cool one. It's a grounded one. It's not an air dasher. So very good. All right, good first round, Silverbolt. Do need to add spacing to the way they play. Good game. I'm glad I got to duck the jab and then throw. But I do understand, yeah, how difficult it is going between Street Fighter 6 and Virtua Fighter. You know, watch it like in the reverse. If you've watched Tricky's adventures in Street Fighter, it's been really exciting to watch. She's been, I think she mostly plays Cammy, and she'll turn to players like Juicebox for advice, and then applying it, and you can see Tricky getting strong, right, climbing the ranks as they implement newer and newer concepts, right? And I think recently, Tricky really now understands that in Street Fighter, like you need to use that range to create that zone of safety. It's like VF. In VF, you want to get good at fighting up close because you have all the options. You have all the options on offense and you have all the options on defense when you're up close. And the further away you go, the less options you have. Street Fighter, kind of similar, is kind of like, yeah, you restrict the options and then you outplay people from out of range. But in VF, playing that long range game is like there's a lot of difficulty in making that consistent because the game really wants you to fight up close more. So you end up having jabs are really powerful, but you got to be up close. Throws are really powerful, but you got to be up close. Yeah. And that's why, yeah, Nala, you like to use spacing a lot, so that's why I understand your style a lot. Yeah, so this game, how does this game make it harder to stay far away? Now, at the beginner level and intermediate level, far away actually is okay. It's fine in this game, but it gives you a lot of challenges. So, what are those challenges? When you go far away, you're relying on slower attacks that have more hit frames and probably higher damage. So they do beat the boxing at long range when people use crazy weird attacks. Um, but long range attacks suffer against people that just move and then block. Right? The problem is that they all suck when they whiff and then they suck on block half the time. So the long range has to deal with somebody that learns how to defend while moving, right? But it's still very high variance, and that interplay makes it really interesting because then that being able to move while defending allows you to start using the speed play as well. And so long range becomes a very strong push and pull of, do I trap them? Do I try to get them to commit and then I punish them? That's probably the most solid strategy against someone playing long range. And then after that, now that I make them feel that way, now I'm gonna cut them off. And that cutting them off is really strong. But only if you get them like scared. And so VF has a lot of these pushes and pulls. It's the same with the boxing. You do the boxing, but then you got to remember that boxing is not just the attacking and the throwing, and not just the defending, it's the movement too. And the movement becomes a really important part. Dang it, I broke the wall. It's not a good idea. Forgot that that move will do that too. Oh, that was perfect. 2 P plus K is a really good move against Leon. Oh, now it's all guaranteed. It's good. He went for the mid. That was an excellent round, Bruce. Excellent round. I did the wrong combo. Against Brad, it's gotta be low punch. Really good game, Bruce. That was an exciting battle. Like I said, Bruce's boxing is so strong, so on point. I have to use a lot of tactics on them. I have to sneak in lows, but I got to be careful because Brad can actually really screw up those lows. Low attacks tend to be slower, but I do use a fast low against him. That said, he doesn't evade much. Because Bruce doesn't evade much, I've heard a theory of why that is. But because they don't evade as much, but they did do a perfect evade into 2P plus K 6P. That was so good and on point. Yeah. Yeah, Bruce is a beast. Real beast. Akai is really good at this, patience. I'm not confirming my low punches. That was perfect. Awesome game, Akai. That was really wonderful. That was a really good game, Akai. Really good battle. Very, very good battle. Punished me every time I didn't confirm low punch too. All right, Setsuna, are you doing this? Are you doing this, Setsuna? What was that? Okay. I think a player had to leave early and I missed their, like, yeah. So. Agent Cub, which player are you? Which player are you, Agent Cub? It's good to have you here. Hello! Disconnected from the replay view. So sad. That would have been a lot of fun to watch. I'm fighting RJ next, I believe. So. Jeff and Pi. Okay, cool. So are you RJ? No, you're not RJ. Are you Digimon? No. Or are you in this league? Either way, I'm happy to have you here. No, you're not in the league because you're not playing right now. All right, Jeff and Pi are cool characters. They are. Well, thank you for your support, and really glad to have you in this chat. And stuff. Let's see how this goes. Looks like it's a fight between me and Setsuna. That's awesome. I'm watching Quasimi versus Akai. It's a good battle. Okay, so Digimon's the one who left. I see. I see. Like I said, awesome to have you here. Alright. I'm gonna fight RJ next, right? So, yeah. Alright, RJ, here we go. Setsuna has got... I can't see the point count because of that. But Setsuna's probably... This is a good fight between me and Setsuna. What a way to end this. He's probably gonna tie with me for second in the league, and that's cool. That's great. But I'm gonna do my best to prevent that. But let's see what we can do. But RJ, I think RJ really messed me up like last league battle. Digimon really messed me up. But RJ did too. I think both. Yeah, I lost to both Jeffries. Oh, look at how beautiful it is. This is so rough. RJ has gotten so strong in this matchup now. I thought I barred that. God, Jeffrey. Oh my god. This is what messes me up. Trying to fight long range with Jeffrey is like... Good game, RJ. It's really good. It's really close battle with Setsuna. Jeffrey Reach is really good. It is really good. Like, That's what's messing me up so good. Good battles. I think Setsuna wins. I can't see. No, he's still in the fight. I think I've got this. We'll see. I can't see the score because of the camera display. So it's so funny, right? Yeah, I can't see the score because my face is in the way. So reach is good. Jeffrey needs the reach. Jeffrey has got a lot of good stuff up close and long range. I underestimate him at long range at my peril, and that like RJ messed me up last league with that, and then Digimon also. Yeah. And the things that RJ has some really good stuff that he just, if you let him get on a roll, his Okuzeme is pretty brutal too. Setsuna, congratulations, tied for second. That is awesome. Hey. Congratulations, Setsuna. I'm really happy for you. That was really awesome. We're now tied for second. With a 1 point in there. Oh my gosh. I just needed one round to not lose. Just need to not lose one round.
I played the spoiler role here, so
yeah, it was a good spoiler.
Here, so.
It's a good spoiler. RJ is a spoiler. I couldn't see the score because Setsuna's on the bottom, and when I put my my camera on the bottom left, so it always blocks like the bottommost player's like differential. So I was like, I don't know what Setsuna's differential is, so like I'll just play as best I can.
Alright guys, thanks for playing. I'm gonna make a room for team battle now, so for those who can play, please do. It's gonna be the same passcode, 0924. Okay.
Alright, congratulations, Setsuna. That was awesome. We both got second place. Congratulations, Akai, on third.
It was a race to the end.
Akai has dominated the third position, so.
Actually, Setsuna has now, for the last 3 quarters, gotten second place.
Yes.
In most first place finishes. So.
Yeah, I believe, that's correct.
Consistency is very good.
Very consistent. No, Setsuna plows through the field. It's really rough. I'm like, man, I wish I can 3-0 as much as these guys, but I 3-0 plenty. But yeah. Hey, Ka, good to see you. I know it's really early if you're in Hawaii. That is so early. That is like 5 in the morning early for the first league. All right, Bruce, here we go. That's punishable. That was good.
Alright, we got 5 people, so if we get even number of players, that's great. If we have odd, I'll just take watch as a spectator. Teams are randomized based on your rank and stuff. They'll make the teams. And passcode 0924.
Oh, Silverbolt's not a mistake. You're at the point where your boxing has improved a lot, so play any character you like. You are using throws, and if you're using throws, then I don't have an issue with your Vanessa, But if you're only trying to solve problems with attack, that's kind of the challenge, right? But you solve problems with both attack, throw, and defense, we're good. Every character is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, generally, if you're only selecting rock, kind of like a Bart Simpson move, you're going to find yourself sooner or later. This is my opinion.
I forgot you can't just duck that. Excellent. This is such a fun fight with Bruce. All right, here, Bruce. Here we go. I love fighting Bruce, by the way. That was a perfectly timed meeting. I was owned that last round. Good game. Awesome game, Bruce. Let's see, what time is it? Because I do need to take my kids swimming.
It should be 1:40 at your time.
Okay, we're good. We have enough. We have enough time for the team battle for me. So.
Bruce the Beast with a GG. I finally freaking beat you.
It was really good. Well, we've had awesome battles all day, though. Yeah, I've won some, but you really did awesome. And he plays
And
Brad very
RJ
well.
wrote,
What, RJ, right?
I'm sorry, and RJ wrote earlier, GG folks, had a good time getting some matches in. Hopefully I'll be able to attend next time.
I hope so too. Really good battles, RJ. He got me good in the second league. Both Jeffreys got me good in the second league. There's this like sense of security when fighting them, especially when fighting well close range, but then suddenly letting yourself get hit by stuff long range. It's like, dang it, I'm in this pattern again. You know? So yeah. And then out of nowhere, RJ just starts like stomping you with like he hits you, then he okizemis you, and I'm just like, what? Where did this come from? You know, like that. It really is scary when you get hit by the RJ rush. Like you don't expect it because he's playing either very passive or very aggressive. But then suddenly when he does get a hit in, and suddenly he okizemis you to death, and you're just like, oh my god. You know, so like I didn't see this coming at all.
I get hit by that on the first few matches. I was like, what is this guy on?
Yeah, right. It hits you out of nowhere because it's such a big change of pace. Yeah, it's just it's the changing of the gears, but also you just end up being surprised at how many setups he has because you didn't see much setups before it. You know, because his neutral is it's very staticky. I have a hard in neutral. I can't tell if he's a fast player or a slow player, right? And then suddenly, once he gets a good hit in, he's like okizemming me, he's just pounding on me. It's like, what? And he's throwing and he's mixing up, and I was like, crap, this guy's actually knows how to scrap here. It's so scary. So it's awesome battles, RJ.
Is he from your region, Chanta?
What's that?
I think he's southern United States, RJ.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I see him always on BFTC.
Oh, nice.
Big tip to people fighting against Brad: if you block 2 uppercuts in a row, he's probably minus 13. So takes a while to get used to that one, though. But talking about 2 uppercuts in a row.
It feels like he's safe.
Of course, he does have a mix-up where he likes to do uppercut hook, but blocking is fine against that. Crushing is fine against it too, but really want to be wary of the double uppercuts. Because if he does hit you with it, then you're going to get comboed. Yep, and Bruce is like, yeah, I'm not doing double uppercuts there. So.
He's listening.
See, there's uppercut hook.
Bruno Bestia.
Yeah. It's like I'm training the audience's eyes to watch for that.
Playing proper boxing. There you go, Silver Bowl.
Well, what I told my stream is when it comes to Bruce, his boxing is sublime. So you gotta he's an awesome person to work on that boxing against, you know. Congratulations, Silverbolt. Good battle.
Yeah, Silverbolt.
That was well played.
Alright, 3 more matches
I should
go.
let Quasi
We got
beats.
even number of players. Well, always appreciate people attending at Sunday sessions.
I wonder what the system is going to do to us. Because those 339s, 236s, and Silver Bolt will come soon.
Well, I block a low punch. I do an elbow. I hit that. So
If it's gonna be us three, if it's gonna be like this, my guess it will be. Oh yeah, it's 236, right? Yeah.
And then the person that is alone will have the 236s.
If it's gonna be like this, my guess is gonna be Silver Bolt. It will be teaming up with me and Sasuna, and yeah, that's my guess.
I think so. And then Chan-Chan
with Boosted Beast and another Strawberry.
Yeah.
I think they might prioritize. I think they might prioritize also winning percentage after if the same rank.
Mine is horrible. Mine is awful.
I think we are close to like 50%.
Yeah, we're very close to 50. I actually had 49 for a while there. Yeah, I've been fighting hard against that. Every time I'm on rank, I don't gotta lose. I can't lose. I can't lose.
okay, Silver Bolt.
Huh?
I was just saying, good games with Silver Bolt. Preparing? Okay.
3 matches now?
So yeah, Silver Bolt is a more defensive player, so he tends to block like a lot. That was a good guess. A little too aggressive, so, but it was working. The aggressiveness worked really well, and her uppercut is so fast. So. There we go. All right, owned that round. Good round, Crosby. All right, here we go. Awesome Sabaki. Sabaki again. There is a problem with that plan, but it's all good. Yeah, I can't do Nike. That's a good finish. I thought I had the range. It was a lot of fun.
On the floor stance by Vanessa, I always feel cool if I get the bait to whiff against it.
Oh, let's go now. That was a good hit.
That was so good. That was so good. Oh, very fun battle. That was a really, really fun battle, Nala.
Alright, 2 more matches go. So counting who's participate in today's session, we had a total of 96 players have participated this year in the Sunday session.
Awesome.
Was he right?
Yeah, 43 of them are participating for the first time in 2023.
That was so good.
And 50 or so returned from last year. And in total, last year, 2022, we had 121 people participating. So let's see if we can catch up to that now by the end of the year.
I think we definitely can.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that even though there's so many new games that have been released, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1 was last week, but early this week, and we still have a good attendance for Sunday, so pretty happy about that.
So good. I like his use of Abari. Like, he started to target his Abari better. It's really good. Oh, sorry about that, Nala. Really good. I couldn't let go in time. Really good game, good game. I saw it, but couldn't let go in time. Man, that was a really fun battle, Bruce. Really, really fun battle.
Alright, last match, and then we begin. Two Vanessa players. Oh, okay. Sorry, that's okay, Bruce the Beast. Thanks for letting us know. Bruce the Beast just wrote in my chat that he had to go away to eat.
Okay.
So,
Bruce, it was awesome battles. Thanks so much, and good last two wins. So looking forward to fighting a lot more, man.
So if anybody wants to join at the very last minute, please do. Passcode 0924.
Punch is good.
They're down.
I probably have to leave too because it's time to take my kids swimming before they have not that much, because it's already half the time they have for swimming. So
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
but thanks so much. I really enjoyed this. It's been an awesome. It's been an awesome season, and thank you guys for Akai. Thank you for having me on this. I really appreciate it a lot.
Oh, no problem. Right that we have a group that consistently shows up on Sundays, and those who can't show up consistently, is always here. So if you have free time, come and join us and play. That's what the Sunday session is all about. Just having a regular time that people know there's people who's going to play VF, and it's open for those who that live in North America. So yeah, and have fun with your kids at the public pool.
Yeah, we're going to the public pool today, so yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. My daughter wants to be working on her backstroke, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks so much, Setsuna. Congratulations, we did it. We got second. So, Akai, you almost got there. So, congratulations on third. No, Akai, you play awesome. You're again, your game is never to be underestimated. It's a much more subtle game, and you execute on reads really well. So I really love fighting you. It's really always tough battles. So thank you so much. And Setsuna also, man. Well, Setsuna has had my number. I think Setsuna has been. I'd have to bet that they have the winning record against me during the league battles this, in one-on-ones, this season. So I'm really glad that I think I'm making some progress in our matchup in the last month.
Okay.
But yeah, cheers.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna start the team match now. So if you want to take a step out, okay. All right.
Good luck, gentlemen. Enjoy. All right, you guys have fun.
2
Battle of the Podcasters. Yeah, Battle of the Podcasters plus Vanessa's. So, good stuff.
Okay, let me test this. Update this.